the apocalyptic signs of water turning into blood. Bible prophecy. Ezekiel 32:6, I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of thee. Joel 2:30, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned to darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord.
Startled residents of a Russian city inside the Arctic Circle have been posting photos of a local river that has mysteriously turned blood red. Photos published on Russian social media appear to show the Dodecan River near the city of Norilsk, flowing vivid burgundy. Russian authorities have yet to establish a reason for the river's unusual appearance, but
in the Azov Sea, between Russia and Ukraine, January 12, 2012, blood rain also poured out on Sri Lanka, causing astonishment. Furthermore, November the 27th, 2012, in Australia, the beaches suddenly turned blood red and
in Russia has turned blood red. And everyone's got their ideas and why this has happened, but this just seems to be becoming a usual event around the world lately, especially in the last 5-7 years. Rivers and lakes are just turning blood red, and there's the government saying, oh, it's chemical plants, it's pollution and stuff like that. But a lot of these lakes, people, and rivers are nowhere near chemical plants. These are in the middle of nowhere, and they're just turning blood red. And but this is what the Lord says in the Bible, that in the end times there's going to be a lot of strange things going on, a lot of supernatural stuff going on. And as you can see in the picture here, this river is huge. Now, even if people like the government say it could be pollution from the factory there, that's near there or something, it would take absolutely astronomical amounts of pollution or even chemicals to cause such a massive river to turn that red. You know, it would take gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons on a continual flowing, leaking the pipe. If the factory, it'd have to be deliberate. You'd have to be deliberately pouring red dye into this river, gallon after gallon after gallon after, to get it to this red. But no, people. There's something going on here. There really is something going on. This is not just in Russia anyway. This is China's huge, largest river. I think the Yangtze turned blood red a few years ago. Something is going on, people. You need to wake up. God said he would send signs in the sun, moon and the stars and all that. No, this river, there's more behind this river turning blood red than just pollution. Because a factory, if it was leaking deliberately, why would a factory deliberately leak poisonous chemicals into a river system that is so red? They'd get caught out straight away, and they'd get fined millions of dollars for doing such a thing, for wrecking the environment and killing the fish. I don't even know what's happening to the fish in this situation and the creatures that live in this river. But no, there's something going on, people, and it's not just in Russia. Like I said, it's all around the world. This one in Russia is just a recent one that happened a few days ago, and everyone has their own ideas of why it's turned red. But this is more than pollution, people. To turn red like this, like I said, you'd have to be pouring non-stop red dye into the river to get it this red, and it's continual. It's just flowing continually, and the government and the mining company that does use this river for some reason, probably for cooling purposes or whatever, I don't know. But you know, they would be the government would be monitoring them constantly, make sure they're not leaking chemicals into this river. It's far more than that. Something's going on, people, and I believe God is warning us that we are in the end times, people. Something big is around the corner. This has been going on for 5-7 years. God is giving us plenty of warning. We have got no excuses, people. We've got no excuses to be asleep, people. God is doing everything He can to wake us up, just like the time of Noah. And the people were scoffing and laughing, you know. I believe, people, we've got to take notice of this and get our houses in order, people, because time is short. And with Europe, the invasion of the Muslims, the governments are letting in these. This is the most ridiculous thing. The governments and the United Nations are bombing the shit out of these Muslim nations. They're bringing in the Muslims into Europe. They're not sending them over to Muslim countries. They're sending them into English-speaking countries and Christian nations. This is ridiculous. They don't mix. So that's going on. They're trying to get into America. Obama would bring them all in if he could get away with it. It's happening, people. God is warning us. We've got to wake up.
Not be an acronym you're aware of yet, but the scientific community is touting 2017 as the year of CRISPR.
But what nature could have created, we can create in a single generation. This shows the enormous industrial engine of biology. And just as we can modify mice to run much further, we could modify humans to run much further.
Scientists have found a way to grow human organs in animals. Yes, you heard that right. Human cells have successfully grown inside a pig embryo.
For the first time, scientists are seeing how our cells grow and interact inside an animal. This pig, the first known chimera.
Now these westerly swells are record high.
Gail Lamar has watched the waves roll into Half Moon Bay every day for the last 30 years.
Changing, it's really changing.
The Monterey buoy recorded 34 feet. That's the highest it's ever recorded.
We've been here for about 5 years, and this is the highest we've seen it yet.
The river is, I think, twice as wide as it was last week. And I have never seen it crest or make the river this tall before.
The water had such force it shattered windows and ruined the floors.
The surveillance video captured this, a rogue wave that came up over the breakers and straight into and through one of the restaurant's first floor window.
Just a lot of rain. We've never had this much rain in that short a period before.
Thousands of birds found dead in the Yolo bypass. A CBS 13 viewer sent us these pictures and asked us what is causing this disturbing phenomenon.
It's just shocking to see that kind of die-off. I've never seen anything like that before.
Walking along the Yolo bypass, Lawrence Campling saw this about a week ago.
Easily hundreds of bodies, hundreds of birds, all dead along the side of this flooded field.
More than 3,700 American coots, birds that look like ducks, all of them.
About on Facebook, around 8 o'clock last night, people from the Mount Holly area all the way down to Rock Hill, well, they apparently heard a really loud boom.
Yeah, the boom was loud enough to rattle nerves.
This is the third time in the past week the town's been rocked by loud booms.
Residents say there's something strange happening in the Uptown area and they want answers. On multiple occasions, they've heard a loud boom, some even reporting the sound follows a flash of light.
There's a lot of speculation as to what could be causing these booms, maybe a blown transformer, fireworks, or some sort of activity that's taking place along the river. But those who've heard this noise say it's just too powerful to be any of that.
And it sounded like a bomb went off underneath our house, rattled the whole house.
It was the loudest sound I can think of without an actual explosion going off.
This has been happening since the start of December, and nobody has a clue as to what it is.
2017. The effects of the Nemesis Nibiru system are becoming much more intense. We are in an ever-increased geophysical shift of the poles, which can be seen in an ongoing Earth wobble. This, in effect, is giving rise to ever greater Earth changes. To understand how much Earth wobble has progressed in recent years, we need to look at the horizons of the Earth as a giant clock. So if you look directly due north, that would be 12 o'clock, east would be 3, west would be 9, and south would be 6. Before 2000, the sun rose at the 4 o'clock position and set at the 8 o'clock position. Starting in 2005, the sun rose at the 3 position and set at the 9 position. The sunrise-sunset positions progressed still further north until in 2014 the sunrise position was at 1:30 and the sunset position was at 10:30. In 2015, the summer sunset positions dropped back just a bit. Coincidentally, the position of the sun at high noon at the summer solstice, which is June 21st, also changed. The sun at high noon on the summer solstice used to be in central Mexico. In 2005, it crept north until it was in central United States. By 2014, it had reached the U.S.-Canadian border. That's about a 2,000-mile stretch. In 2015, it dropped further south again. As of 2016, the sun's position was at around 41 degrees north latitude. Now, this position could change yet again. All this abnormal sunrise, sunset, and high noon positions are due to the Earth wobble and a shifting of the geophysical poles. Now, the big event, the flip of the poles at the tipping point, is yet to happen. As this phenomenon increases steadily as the Nemesis Nibiru system advances on our location, Earth changes will increase and intensify dramatically. Researchers predict that Planet X, Nibiru, comes directly between the Sun and the Earth. It will position itself right on the ecliptic and will therefore cause a great solar eclipse. Here are some important questions that require our attention if we are to fully understand this planetary system. Is Planet X Nibiru, Planet 9, ready to show itself in 2017? And if so, what will it bring with it? Are Nemesis and Nibiru hiding behind the sun? Will Planet X bring a pole shift? With so many people wondering about other world affairs and not looking to the sky, could Planet X already be showing itself? In January 2015, Bob Fletcher predicted that martial law would be invoked in the U.S. within 6 months of the worldwide naked eye observations of objects in the Planet X system. NASA, the Pentagon, and the CIA are knowledgeable of the approaching rogue planet. The Vatican has also been briefed, but the public is being obviously misinformed about the approaching apocalypse. What the public has not been told is that the decade-long litany of global geological and meteorological calamities is caused by Planet X-provoked solar excitations. Before leaving office, President Obama gave a speech on global warming and signed an executive order to prepare for space weather events. In his proclamation, he acknowledged the real possibility of an end-of-life as we know it event taking shape on the planet.
That there's something more going on than just pollution and what else, like deliberately people pouring dye into the rivers or deliberately. I want to take you to a case that's just recent in Iran. You're not going to hear this in the new Fox News, people, but this happened in Iran just a few months ago, and they've got a lake over there called Lake Umia, and this lake is it's a massive lake, people. It's normally greeny blue, and almost overnight, this lake in Iran, there's no factories around it. There's no factories around this lake. There's no one doing mining around this lake. But there's no one putting chemicals into this lake. But this lake, massive lake in Iran, just recently turned blood red. So, you know, the government can't say it's pollution.